There's this kind of loneliness that nobody talks about. It's not the obvious kind, where you're sitting around in a room, scrolling through old photos, feeling forgotten. It's the loneliness you feel when you're with people, when you're surrounded by laughter, noise, even love, but still you feel disconnected. It's the loneliness of being seen but not known, of being heard but not understood, of being included but never truly felt. And if you felt like this, you know it's not just a passing mood. It's a quiet, steady ache, a sense of, I don't really belong here, a feeling that you're always a little bit outside looking in. I think a lot of this comes down to the masks we wear. Because at some point, we all learned that being ourselves wasn't safe. Maybe you learned it at 7, when you got laughed at for saying something weird. Maybe you learned it at 15, when you felt like you had to dress a certain way to just fit in. Maybe you learned it as an adult, where you realized that being too honest at work or in a relationship often led to conflict, not connection. So we edit ourselves, we filter our words, we downplay our pain, we hide our weirdness, our fears, our flaws, and we become the version of ourselves that is easiest for others to accept. We become the funny one, the smart one, the always there for others one, and in doing so, we become known but not really seen. And here's the thing, being liked is not the same as being loved. Being accepted is not the same as being understood. And being surrounded by people is not the same as feeling connected. That's why you have hundreds of people in your contact, a packed social calendar, even a loving partner, and still you feel profoundly alone. Because the version of you that they know isn't the full you. It's the edited, polished, less complicated you. And that hurts because deep down we all want to be seen. We all want to be known. We want to be loved for the messy, contradictory, deeply human people we really are. We want to be able to say, here's my pain, here's my weirdness, here's my truth, and not have someone flinch or walk away or try to fix it. But we don't do that because being truly seen is terrifying. It means giving someone the power to reject you, not just a version of you, but for the real, unfiltered you. It means risking judgment, misunderstanding, and sometimes even abandonment. And maybe you have been burned before. Maybe you've opened up only to be met with awkwardness or a quick change of topic. Maybe you've tried to be real only to feel like you've made the other person uncomfortable. Maybe you've felt your pain minimized, brushed off with a you'll be fine. Just stay positive. So you learn to keep the guard up. You learn to say, I'm fine when you're breaking. You learn to play the role people expect of you rather than risk the discomfort of being raw, unpolished, and human. But you know what is the cost of that self editing? You end up surrounded by people who only know the version of you that you have curated. People who think that they know you but have never really met you. And when you feel unseen for long enough, you start to feel like maybe you don't even exist. Maybe your real self, the one you keep locked away, isn't worth showing. Maybe it's too much, too messy, too complicated. But that's not true. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be known. You deserve to take up space. And not just as the person expects you to, but as the person you really are. So, what do you do? How do you break the cycle of surface level connection and start building the kind of relationships that actually fill your heart, not just a calendar? You start by letting yourself be seen. Not by everyone, not all at once, but by a few people you trust. You just start by saying that, hey, I'm struggling right now, or I miss the way we used to talk, or I'm scared that if I show you the real me, you wouldn't want to stick around. And not everyone will get it. Some people will distance themselves. Some won't know what to do with your vulnerability. But the ones who lean in, the ones who say, I am here, I hear you, I see you, they are the ones you want to hold on to. Because you know what? Real connection is not just about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being messy, a little flawed, a little broken, and still being loved. And that kind of connection, it's rare, but it's real. And it's worth the risk. So if you're feeling alone right now, I want you to try something. Reach out to one person. Let them see a piece of you that you've been hiding. Maybe it's a fear, maybe it's a dream, maybe it's a wound. But let someone in. Because as terrifying as it is to be real, it is the only way to feel seen. This is another episode of Getting Better Together. And here we try to be seen. Drop a comment if you have felt this kind of loneliness. Let's have a conversation that is not filtered, not curated, not perfect, just real.